Hi guys, what's good? I got two drinks with me on and off camera. The gaming room is a little messy right now. I'm not really worried about cleaning it up. Uh, I was at work earlier and I seen that Divios actually uploaded something. Surprisingly, I wasn't subscribed to him on YouTube, but I am now. Yes, yep, I'm subscribed now. Yes, sir. But I am following him on Twitch. You feel me? And I actually see that he uh he uploaded something. It's kind of a shocker because if we go to his videos, he hasn't uploaded something in like 10 months or something on his YouTube channel. He's been on Twitch a lot because I mean he is a Twitch streamer. But it popped up, and the video is the end of an era, and this actually looks like such a great thumbnail. And I recently remembered that this week. Actually, I don't know why I even say I remember because it's in a process. Uh, JJ, the NA CEO, quit. She's working for the Throne of Liberty now. CM Durgif, which was the CM of the console NA or console in general, he ended up leaving us. Uh, Probably going to Throne of Liberty. Uh, as well as some other people from the behind the scenes team of Black Desert and Pearl Abyss. They're probably leaving, going to pursue other careers. I don't know where Durgif is going, but we all know that JJ is now one of the CEOs of Throne of Liberty's company, NC Soft, NC Soft America. But we also know that Cho Nation recently retired as a guild. Um, and now Divios. I'm not sure what guild he's in, but as you can see, that's in guild. Cho Nation. Cho Nation. He's probably, I'm not sure what guild he's in, but seeing Divios quit now was a shocker to me. I remember hearing people say that he is one of the best players in this game as all at at everything. So seeing one of the best players, a veteran, quit is kind of a shocker. But we're going to jump right into this video. We're going to react to it. It's an hour and 17 long. If you guys don't want to react with me, the link is in the description for you guys to watch the video. If you want to see my reaction and hear what I have to say and what I think, please continue watching this video. For you guys who do not know, all my reactions are live. I don't fake anything. None of my stuff is scripted or staged. So even when I do my videos, I barely script it or stage it. So I'm definitely not about to do that for reaction. And I'm not editing anything out. So anything I say, I mean it. Unless it's something dumb. Then possibly. Let's get into the video.
Yo, what's up, guys?
What's
It's
up?
me,
Let's get dropped.
Divios, the Azure Dragon, or
That is a cool
many things named throughout the years.
avatar.
But
I will say that is a cool avatar.
yeah, this feels like this is the end of my road for BDO. And I'm really gonna miss it, man. This meant a lot to me. And I really plan on talking next. I don't know how long I'll talk, but I just want to talk about just the past issues and kind of going forward. And let's also do this. So, yeah. All right.
I think this is the first time I actually seen him. That helicopter plane is so low, and it just sounds like it's about to crash. Let me make my face cam a little bit bigger. There we go, guys. That way you guys can actually see me. This is how I look. My hair is a little rough. My haircut. I'm getting a haircut on Wednesday. But anyways, this is how he looks. This is my first time seeing him. Y'all probably seen him before, but I've never seen him before. This is my first time actually seeing him. It's a little blurred. If you want a better, actually kind of up the quality. Settings quality is in. Okay, it's not my quality, guys. It's not my quality.
So first things first. Absolutely massive. Probably one of the biggest parts of my life for almost a decade. I'm like 24 years old. It's an
We're around the
insane,
same age. I'm
insane thing
25.
to think about, like losing. But I can't see myself continuing to play for much, much longer. And yeah, playing this game this long, it's nearly impossible to say you'll never play it, but I don't see myself doing it without massive, massive changes coming.
I'm out of my first drink.
And I don't see how those changes could happen.
But there's more.
And every day I log into the game, it just it hurts my heart, man. I love it so much, and it's just I'm playing the character I love. I'm playing the game. I'm riding the horse I love. But the actual like meat behind it, the game behind it, feels so sad nowadays. It's really bad for me to keep playing. By far my favorite game I've ever played, but it's gone bad recently, and I can't say game
This
bad.
has been the game I've played the most.
I started playing this game,
but some of that is also AFK.
Funny, at first I wasn't gonna play. I had a bunch of friends from Smite that ended up playing back when, like.
Alright, so before he says what got him in, let me tell you what got me into BDO. One of my old friends who's no longer a friend of mine for certain reasons, he told me about this game. I watched this game. Watching the Dark Knight gameplay of this game is actually what put me onto this. And I was like, I'm going to try it. It's an MMO. I get to do MMO things. I've never really played such an MMO like this on console. The MMOs I played was DC Universe. I tried playing Other Scrolls, but my internet was bad when I was living with my parents. And Black Desert was like the first ever of its kind to where you could legit do all of this. And I was just like, wow. And I wasn't really into it because of the grind zones. It was just the PvP, the combat. Like the grind didn't interest me or anything. Like I remember the first night I touched this game, I went negative karma. Like I got all my gear because I played the beta. So when the game dropped, I went negative karma my first night. My first character on this game was Jack Nitrous, which is the wizard I still got today. I renamed him to OG and a Dark Knight, which was Merlin TSCG because I brought my gaming crew to this game called X the Savage Era. And I eventually stopped playing because I got so much stuff and no content was out, and I had quit. I actually quit this game so many different times and came back. It's a shocker. But now there's actually an MMO that kind of shows that you can do almost anything, and that is Throne of Liberty. So I might be playing Throne of Liberty a lot more if this game does not tighten up on console. PC players have been having so many choices for so long, but as a console player, there's not many choices. If I go play ESO today, there's so much I got to catch up on. If I go play DC Universe, there's so much I got to catch up on. Terra, if the game is still up. Neverwinter if the game is still up. But having a new game rival against Black Desert to where everybody's starting from scratch, I have a shot. I don't have to play catch up, and the game is actually producing content, and they're promising content, and I see that they're actually working with you. I will definitely work with that game because right now, the way that Pearl Abyss is going with Black Desert, they're becoming a Korean Blizzard, and nobody's happy with that. We're supposed to be reactive. Let's see what got him into the game.
Sure, it's so early, man. Lasses, Dare to Care, Matty Pocket, all those guys. If you played Smite, those guys were massive for the early days of Smite, and they're like, "Hey, you should come play too." I'm like, not super interested, but hey, fuck it, I'll try it out. All my friends are playing it, why not? So I joined Flex with them, which is the name of our guild, and we ran around and we had fun with it. We had a lot of fun. Lasted for a while, and obviously, as with most MMOs, as you kind of play for a while, all your friends slowly quit. It'd be how it'd be, but it actually became that this guild ended up existing for 6-8 months, which early on in the game it felt like a long time more than what it is now, looking back 9 years, but it lasted for a long time, and I really enjoyed it. There was a lot of stuff, pre-termers, the whole anti-Veritas stuff on Orwin. It was good content for quite a while. I enjoyed it a lot, and it ended up being something that hooked me to the game.
Bro, it
I
feels so
played
amazing. And
Warrior.
being a
I
part of
played
the team
until
that you
basically
don't
Warrior
have to
Awakening came out.
lead in,
I
it
really did
feels
not enjoy
much
Warrior
better.
Awakening. It was not for me. Took a break from the game. Came back for Striker release and history as of there. I just played it pretty much nonstop. Small break for 1 year of Worlds, but that's about it. Then we moved on after Flex, moved on to Hexus, Iconic. I was in Iconic for like literally single days,
I don't
but
know,
ended up
this
being
right
in
here, my
Hexus
screen
with
is this big, but I
Paladin
can watch
when they combined with LOTD. And that guild, I got a lot of good friends in that guild, man. And there's nothing but good memories there. Back in those days, it was really early Striker days. Striker was unbelievably powerful.
Striker is still busting
Doing
till
sieges
today.
with a really small, tight-knit guild, 50 people. And then eventually go into a bigger guild, which no one of us ever thought would get there. It was a really good time. And then obviously, after that, I moved over to Snake, which Snake lasted years.
Isn't
And
it still good today?
like I think what 2017 to around 2021. So it
They
was
get died?
really good portion. And there was a lot of good times in there, man. And there's obviously my biggest memories, right? And these are to me the pinnacle of like guild strength things, which was like the Snake versus Black Rose at like Star's End. There was at one point there.
I'm gonna kind of skip his journey a little bit because I see he has timestamps. So I'm gonna skip his journey, and I wanna go right here.
The destruction of.
But before we go right here, we're gonna go to 26. If you guys want to see his journey, the link is in the description. But I want to see if he's quitting or if he's not quitting because in the beginning it says like his era, his time has come to stop playing, and the title says he's quitting. So we're just gonna jump right here.
I'd have drinks and stuff, but I never really got like actually drunk. And it was really funny. Went to this like Irish pub with Norelio and all the squads, Frosty, Blue Squadron. Too many people to name at the time, man. There's so many people. Got to meet the family guys the first time there. Goticus, Hoyd, all of them. Stratified. Again, I can't name it. There's a whole picture. There's so many people there that night, and I just remember me and Norelio were just sitting at the bar, and people just keep coming up, but one by one, getting me and Norelio drinks, and we're getting lost, we're having fun, and Blue Squadron just being absolutely just hilarious. Just he was just laughing, and he was just.
You can tell.
I can't. There's one part that I'm missing there, but I can't remember part of it. But it was just. I just remember just being just laughing, talking to Blue Squadron for like a whole hour at one point. And then he thought I was Choice. Blue Squadron got drunk and he thought I was Choice. That's what it was. There we go. That's what I remember. And he was just like, I'm not Choice, man. And it was funny. I remember near the end of the night, I got super zoned in talking to Stratified. Like I was super just tunnel vision, and I remember getting super in depth with.
I'm gonna go back and watch this journey, but let's start right here.
Of the destruction of gear was around Debraka earrings. Now, believe it or not, it's funny. It's something people said years and years ago was when distortion earrings got added to the game that they were the best item ever added. And I still, to this day, will say distortion earrings were the biggest, like, the most, like, important aspect of gear ever in the game. Even now, new players get them 6 years later. It is so important.
When you're getting gear.
Tet distortion earrings were just way too powerful at the time. Probably should have got nerfed, never did, but they were an absolutely super huge part of gearing. Well, with Deboreka earrings, they realized very easy. These earrings suck. Deboreka's, for example, are supposed to be hex tongue grad accessories. Right? They're supposed to be tongue grad accessory 1 extra level. Well, it turns out even a hex tongue grad accessory was going to be trash compared to a Tet distortion or a pen distortion. So like, all right, we had to make a gear set. What that gear set does, it was insanely strong, 12 AP, and made it so you had to have 3 set. It's like, okay, well now, no matter what I'm doing, I'm always gonna have 3 dead breckas. No matter what's going on, I'm running 3 dead breckas always. Just how it is.
Yeah.
And then dead brecca rings get added, and just like the rings, because of the earrings, you have to add another set bonus, or else everyone gets rid of your earrings. So they had a 5 set as well. Well, guess what? The 5 set's also very strong. So what happens is you have to get the rings as well.
Yes.
And that really quickly gearing became obscenely expensive really quick. Because all of a sudden before, right, it's like, before this point, right, everyone's like, oh, maybe if you were really geared, you'd have a Debo. You'd have a Debo neck. But most people didn't. Most people didn't even have a Debo. It was like, wow, you had a Debo, you're geared as hell. That's how it was.
That's true.
But after this point, people are like, oh, you need multiple Debos. You can't just run around with all 10 accessories. Like, before, it's like, damn, I need to get 3 pen Debos. Oh shit, the rings are out. I should probably push to get 5 pen Debos eventually. And it's just like, holy fuck. Well, during that time, they also add the hammers.
Oh,
and what this did
hammers like crazy.
Is it made Debos very achievable. Well, it's like, okay, well, kind of fixes itself. It's like, I need a bunch of Debos. Well, Debos got a lot easier. Problem with
I
this,
couldn't grab for those hammers though.
it breaks the entire marketplace. All the bright new accuracy accessories. These things are worth 200 bill. They're now worth nothing. Dawn earrings. These were worth 200 bill. They actually start going up again, but they are worth nothing compared to what they were. Everything, and I mean every single accessory. I could go through every single one, no matter what it was. It is dead. It is done. It is over.
Dang.
It's worth nothing. And that's just how it is now. Everything in the market is now worth nothing.
Yeah, every other thing
doesn't really feel like there's anything to push for. And I don't like, it's like the gear system's fucked. It's like you start the game, you're like, all right, this is how the gear person is. You start the game, you get your pen black star for free, a tap black star for free. You get your pen Tuvala, and it's like, okay, that's a nice baseline. You go up a bunch. Now I'm going for Tet distortions, my pen Jatinas. You're like, okay, that's another step up. I got my Vel's heart. All right, that's a step up. And then you're like, all right, where do I go from here? Oh, fuck. I need fucking Tet Debos. Well, not yet. I need Fallen Gods, duo Fallen God armors. I need Tet Debos. And you're like, oh, fuck, man. That's a lot of, that's a big upgrade from fucking these 10 bill upgrades. And I'm like, oh, fuck, 60 bill, 50 bill. 5x the upgrade. And then you're like, all right, well, what's next? I got my duo Fallen Gods. I got my Tet Distos. I got my not Tri-Debos. I got my Tet Debos. All right, well, what's up for here from there? Well, up there, that's Pen Debos and Tet Fallen Gods. You're like, oh, well, fuck off. That's a lot. Well, it's like, well, it's okay because I'll have a lot to do, right? It's like, oh, I guess, yeah, it's a natural progression. I'll get my gear. So at least it's like, okay, well, at least it's like, it's going to be worth it, right? It's like, oh, well, no, because you don't need Pen Debo for almost anything right now. Everything you do PvP-wise is capped.
That's true.
PvE-wise, you can get the cap without getting even, you don't need Pen Debo.
That is what I'm saying. If I go PvP, majority of the stuff is capped. If I go to grind, I don't need him. I'm already reaching the AP cap to go grind. What am I grinding for? Everything is capped. PvP is just capped. Nobody fights on uncapped. I drank too much soda. I'm burping and too much mixed drinks, whatever not. But what he's saying is correct. Oh, let me tell you how it is on console, because I don't know how it is on PC. There's a guild called Sacred. They're pretty much the Cho Nation of console. They sit on uncap and they make all the money that they want because they're uncontested. There's a 3 guild alliance that legit is just overpowered. It's 3 of the top 5 siege guilds, and then there's another siege guild which is allied with 2 other guilds who aren't in the top 5. They fight this 3 guild alliance on cap. and this everything is just capped. You don't have a reason to grind because there's 3 different tiers now. There's no longer 4 tiers, which got broken down to 5 tiers, which then just went to 3 tiers. I don't know how we go from 4 to 5 to 3, because there's 3 tiers now. And at the third tier is uncapped. The first tier is like 550 to Bala gear or something. And then the next cap, which is that middle cap, it is, we're just going to call it today's T2. Today's T2, once you're 680 gear score, you're good to go. And oh my gosh, even if you don't have a proper build, you're green on everything. It's 100% hit rate, because so evasion is pretty much useless because it's 100% hit rate. Nobody's in their right mind is stacking evasion on there. You don't have to put DR downs or AP downs on this, because even if you do and you hit somebody with that move, they're still going to be at the AP and DP king evasion cap. There's no reason to grind this game anymore. So yes, the progressions, I don't know why he put A, he probably misspelled it, but the progression system doesn't make it doesn't make sense to progress in this game. That's why majority of the players, I'm not sure about PC, like I said, I'm a console player, I'm on PS5, but the majority of console players, we only hop on for Node Wars and Siege, and they're already messed up Node Wars. Like, why? The next thing you're going to do is messed up Siege. I'm pretty sure that they're writing down, and the board are like, hey, you over there, how can we make them mad and mess up Siege? That's not bad enough. You over there, I need something worse. Like, what are you guys thinking over there? Why? Revert everything back. The deck system. There's no PvP in open world. You're fighting the same people in the Archer server. And when you fight somebody in the Archer server, they're grinding. They're going to swap. It's sad.
If you do, in the future, it's going to be for like 1, maybe 2 grind spots. What's at those grind spots? How are they going to make these new grind spots in the future? Because everything else in the market's dead.
Even my AP is capped in PvE. If I go to a low-end mob, I should be able to just, a simple skill should be able to kill them. Why is my AP capped on PvE? PvE is capped? PvP is capped. Why? Might as well cap life skills too while we're at it. Cap them also. Get those bastards on the same level as disappointment as we are, even though they've been in disappointment for years.
The only thing to do is give you more Debos. Well, guess what happens? Debos are going to start being listed. Orders for Debos are going down day to day. What happens when Debos start lowing down?
Everybody has.
The only thing that's worth anything is just the raw silver. And I don't know how they can fix this without just making multiple new sets of gear. But I also don't know how you get anyone to care about these multiple new sets of gear when the PvE seems so capped and the PvP as well. So you don't even have like the veteran PvPers pushing for these like rare PvP only kind of like off items, like things like Tayback Belt and stuff. You were never going to grind with a Tayback Belt. This item was never going to be used in PvP or PvE. Like, it was only for PvE. And yeah, it's like you see nowadays, look, these Debos, I got these 6 Debos. I worked years and years for these things. And guess what? Now if I want a PvP, I throw in these free tongue red earrings and these tried tongue red necks just because, I mean, everything else is capped. I may as well just get some BSR, I guess. Why not? The progression system, it's just, in my opinion, it's completely shambled. It's completely in shambles, and I don't know what they could do to fix it. I think you get up to 710, 720 gear score, and you're like, well, I can do everything. There is no reason to push anything past that other than I want to. That's never been the case before. Before it was always, oh, I get an upgrade. I can't wait to test out my upgrade. I can't wait to see how it feels in grinding. I can't wait to see how it feels in PvP. Every time you got an upgrade, you felt it. You felt like, damn. Like people back in the day, like when dandies were hard to get. Pen dandy was hard to get. It's like someone had a pen dandy. You couldn't even get them for a specific class. You'd win one for a random class. And guess what? You won a random class you've never played. Pendandy, guess what? That is now your class. You're maining that class because that upgrade made you feel like a god. You were so strong when you had, if you had a Pendandy and other people didn't, you felt like an absolute demon.
Now it's trash.
You got pen weapon, it was insane. You got a pen, even a 10 accessory back then. Oh my god. I got that new bracket. Oh, I'm so powerful now. Now it's like, oh, I could get 3 debos and then what?
I agree too much. I'm out of my drinks.
Yeah, my 30 minutes and War of the Roses every 2 weeks. I am slightly stronger. If I'm not just on the side that gets completely stomped every time. That's about it. Maybe G League against, I don't know what guilds are left, but
so many guilds are dying, man.
Second to me, and this is like true to my heart, a system that really hurts and what's really breaking the game for me personally is the constant diminishing of the PvP systems. And nothing more I could say easier than compare it to Wizard 101. So for Solaire, if you get in the top 100, you get the shiny new outfit called the Solaire Knight outfit. And at a baseline, I don't hate it. I don't know where the hat is. But this is the armor. I like the armor. I like this outfit. In fact, I use this outfit on my Sage. And it's like, oh, hell yeah. I got this outfit. I worked for it, right? And that's fine. Like, it's cool. Like, hey, I get an outfit that you can only get from PvP, and that's awesome. Well, it was awesome 3 seasons ago. But they made it, you get the outfit for season 2, season 3, season 4. You know what that does? Means over time, more and more and more people are going to get this outfit. Which means it doesn't matter what season you got it. I could get it season 1, I could get it season 25.
Bro,
you don't know.
So low.
And it really kind of like, it's like, oh. And I outfit when I got this, it's like, I want it to be like, oh, I got it in season 1. Holy crap, that guy got the season 1 outfit. This guy was playing in season 1. That's awesome. This guy's playing season 2. That's awesome. And even if it isn't that, another thing they could do, when you also play, you get this Solaire Knight title. Now, Solaire Knight tells this. I actually have an extra one over here. Right here. It's a box, gives you the title. You get the title until the next season. I also have an opened one right here from the first season. Thing is, the next season, as soon as it goes around, you lose this title. There's also no distinction of this title between any seasons.
Okay, I can see what he means now. Because if you're going to
I don't know if I got this title season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4, season 25, whatever it is again.
I don't know why I can't keep that title, bro.
Becomes meaningless over time. And I'll compare this to Wizard 101 because I logged into this game, a game I played when I was really young. I logged into it 3-4 years ago at this point, and when I logged in, I still had my outfit that they turned my outfit, my season 1 like gear that I was using into an outfit. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. They turned my title, where before it was just PvP Warlord, it turned into First Age PvP Warlord. They reset it, and it does something, but that's awesome because forever I have the title that I was playing the first age of Wizard 101 PvP, and forever beating their opponents. And not really for me. The Throne of Solaire thing looks really cool.
Okay, that's pretty much about the titles and stuff. But there's more than just titles. Let's talk about class balances. I see he talked about that. So I definitely want to see what he has to say about class balance. Especially
and I kept on hoping, kept trying to push them to improve it, but it just never got better. Is that how Pearl Abyss does class changes? Is they really end up doing them for both PvE and PvP, as they're not class changes to make things feel better, not to fix issues the game has, except for extreme, absolutely disgusting outliers that would happen, like Succession Megu, Succession Wizard after who knows how long I'm asking, Succession Sage, some absolutely insane outliers, early Succession classes like Ninja, things like that, right? Insane outliers, yes, they'll fix, but classes that are just by far the best, but not absurd outliers,
There's some classes
they
that
just
are just
get allowed
trash
to live forever because
and
what
definitely
Probus
need to be
does is
updated.
they allow them to be content patches. So instead of being like, oh, we'll make this class as OP, like no, we'll buff everybody in the game once a year, once every 2 years, for either PvE or PvP. And if your class sucks after that, if you don't like your class after that, well, fuck you. Your class is
That's what
gonna
they
suck for
say.
the next year. And whether it be PvE or PvP, whatever one that hits, unlucky. That's just how it is.
Yeah, I never understood because they buff every class.
Um,
So
and
when you buff every
it was
class, that class
just
that
such a
uses hers,
destructive way to play.
it's still
And
plus
the real breaking point of that has been in
BUSTE.
December, or more like November. They had a real big dev talk. They announced, all right, guys, we're really looking to class changes. We want to get some changes for all these outliers, and then we want to do some big new node word rework and all this stuff. Which we talked earlier about the node word rework, and
Horrible.
yeah. So like, what happened?
word
Guess
rework
what?
is horrible.
December rolls around. 1 month after they release this crazy patch. They've went through in every class in the game. Pretty much, they added like one or two super armor CCs, added other protections, bunch of other like things people asking for their class. They added it all in one patch.
Especially not doing it.
Well, this patch was going to be the power creep. Of this patch would have been absurd, right? But it would have been fun in the short term, just because. Sorry, it was something different. Well, big uproar after that. They scrap it, and they're like, "Oh shit!" Well, honestly, one of the first times they fully scrapped something like that so fast. I was kind of impressed. I'm like, okay, well, I guess they'll go back and try something else. I'm like, all right, cool. A couple weeks goes by. I'm like, huh. Wonder when they're gonna change it. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Oh, we got a new message. We got a big global lab update. What does it say? Well, guys, we don't really know what we want to do, but we want to listen to your feedback.
They give like 3 options.
3 months after scrapping the idea.
And they
And
say F the feedback.
obviously, they couldn't figure out what to do. Option 1, give every class in the game a grab.
Horrible idea.
But guys, be careful. They're really fast classes. You can't give a grab. Like Musa and Meiwa, they're just too fast. You couldn't give them a grab. Not to mention there was like 6 classes with a grab. They're faster than them. We don't worry about that. Second option, remove a bunch of super armors, add more frontal guards, and kind of bring things back a little bit. It's like, okay, sounds good in theory, but you could see that going really wrong really fast. If all of a sudden they're like, oh, yeah, and we made one of the archer skills frontal guard, but they're 50 feet away when they cast it, versus, oh, the striker or the suck striker, it has to be touching his opponent to hit you, is now frontal guard on more skills that he already is frontal guard, a bunch of stuff like that's not an even trade, and that trusting them to do this well was just never gonna happen. And honestly, I can't remember the third option off the top of my head. But whatever, it was some other shit. Oh, it was gonna be like, oh yeah, I remember. It was gonna be like a flame tower skill. Basically, they're gonna add a skill where the classes that don't have grabs are gonna get like another skill that bypasses CC or bypasses super armor, and that would have been terrible too. Basically, 3 options. None of them were good. And I was like, okay, well, at least they'll make some changes soon. It's like, okay, they'll be listening to our feedback, whatever. They'll do some changes.
They did it.
1 month goes by, 2 months, 3 months. And we get another post, and I'm like, oh shit, okay, well, it's been 6 months. Here it comes. This is the big patch. All right, guys, we've determined we cannot keep the game in its current state. Obviously. Of course, we've been asking this for 6 months. But also, there's a big performance issue, which, with the last 2 classes, Musa.
Every time they drop a class, it's the flavor of the month, and that's reasonable. That is very reasonable. Flavor of the month. Have to make it busted. Have to make everybody go play that class. But when you make a brand new class so busted, and you don't update the old classes, and you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to name them. Nobody starts to play those classes anymore. And some classes I don't even see, so when I fight them, I don't even know how to fight it. And those players don't know how to fight either because they never touched the class, and they're just trying to see how it is. Oh, the state of how this game is right now is horrible. Harlow.
Son Megu, they had this new thing that there wasn't really there for a long time in the game besides Ranger, which was hit stun. Now this thing basically became, it was the best way to counter it.
Boy, the hit stuns, when they reduced the hit stuns, I was so happy because them hit stuns from Megu make my game lag badly. Horribly.
Super armor. Because what it would do, it would just, this combined with Shy, you'd speed up all your skills so fast to a point where you just cast your entire kit in 1 millisecond, be standing there unprotected for half the time, and just basically you cast your entire kit instantly and then stand there and die. The characters never meant to attack this fast. It didn't make sense. It also broke a lot of characters where like you just your movement skills wouldn't move you, a bunch of other stuff. So they went through, they reduced a bunch of hits. This caused them to do another rework. Basically, what happened here is after 6 months of no changes, they came in and like, all right, guys, we won't be able to actually make changes. We need to overhaul everything. So we're going to overhaul evasion and DR. We're going to overhaul the hits for all classes. This is going to break a bunch of classes, and we're going to fix them, surely. They didn't. Shards and stuff and classes like hits on hit stuff is still broken to this day. And I don't see them ever really getting fixed fully. Bunch of animation counts and stuff got ruined for a lot of classes. Bunch of weird stuff. Anyway, that's besides the point. Doesn't really matter. Evasion changes go through. So like, we can't have evasion because blah, blah, blah. Now they had to remove special evasion. This goes down. Well, about 8 months in, we get some class changes. After 8 months, the class change, surely there'll be so many. No, there's about 5 classes. A couple months after that, there's another 5 classes. It's like, bro, we're 10 months in, man. 9.5, 10 months in. Like, there ain't no time for this. Like, if you're gonna, like, it's like they were basically promising another content patch. Because, like, they do with these class balancing, and it just never came. Maybe it will in the future. Who knows? They did a big PV balance patch. Cool. That brought up a lot of classes to be closer in PV. But then, obviously, you'll have new outliers. And new classes that suck. And then kind of didn't really address those again. So it kind of just up the power level, everyone got it closer, but again, there's new outliers. That's what you gotta do, man. You can't, like, the whole thing is, like, every time you do big class change, there's always gonna be a new top class. And that's fine. People don't care if a class is top for a while. They care when a class is top for way too long, and it's way too egregious. The easy example, longest one, that'll always stand out in legacy players' mind, veteran players' mind, Succession Wizard. And this goes into another thing, which I'll talk. People don't care if a class was broken for a month. They don't care if a class was broken a month and a half. What people care about is when it lasts too long. Because when it lasts too long, people start giving up. They're like, oh. Back in the day, you're like, oh, a class is broken? Well, good, have fun on that. When that shit gets nerfed, I'll be coming for you in a couple months. But nowadays, people are like, oh, will it get changed? Or will that just be the new normal? Who knows? And maybe you'll last 6 months, 8 months, a year. It's like Wizard, a year and a half before it gets changed.
They never fest to the ground.
And one thing people never really talk about, this class came out during Succession Wizard. Succession Sage. Succession Sage came out. He had iframe on every rift chain. And not only that, but he had a bug where every single rift chain, even on cooldown, gave him super armor. But guess what? They fixed both the bug and they nerfed him hard within the month. So what happened is that class, guess what it did? It was destroying Suck Wizard at its prime. This is at the time when Suck Wizard hadn't been nerfed yet. And even during that time, Succession Sage came in and was stomping it. But you know why everyone remembers Succession Wizard? Because it lasted way too fucking long, man. You cannot leave a class that long. What needs to happen is constant, small, 2-3 classes. Doesn't have to be every week, every couple weeks. Just 2-3 classes at the top, 2-3 classes at the bottom. Make a small changes to them. It doesn't have to gut them. It doesn't have to remove them from the game. Just something to be like, oh, my class sucks. I'm sad. And it's like, oh, that's something to at least think about, have fun with. And guess what?
The modifiers, I feel like if they just did away with the modifiers, stuff would be so much better. And if not, just decrease the modifiers. Like, bro, a lot of people are like, oh, Succession is this, Succession Wizard that. On my Wizard, I can't do damage to strikers. Magic classes can't do a certain amount of damage and stuff like that. I don't got to go into detail. You guys know what it is. Let's actually go to this. I wonder what he has to say about Land in the Morning Light.
An amazing place. It is such a beautiful place
But there's no
that
lines on it.
probably 90% of people have never seen. If they've seen, they did it for, actually no, they have seen it. They did it for the 8 hours of their quest line where they basically just go the R key over and over again, 8 hours.
He's not lying.
They spam that shit. And then they leave and they never come back because there's no reason to come back except for bosses. But guess what? You don't have to come here for the boss anymore. Now there's a UI for it. But even back when the bosses, people didn't even do that shit because it's like the bosses don't really matter.
I don't think I do my bosses all
But it was like a fun thing to do. This region is, in my opinion, the biggest fuck up they've ever had. This area is beautiful and there's no reason to be there. And it's sad to see because this place has so much potential. And you need to have stuff there. It doesn't have to be just grind spots, but grind spots are a thing that Pearl Abyss has always done to get people to go places. And I'll put this in contrast to another region they've added, Ulakita. Ulakita, by contrast, is an amazing, awesome zone. However, this place is not beautiful. This place looks very similar to Valencia. It's kind of like a cross between Valencia and Medea. And it's not bad looking, but compared to Land in the Morning Light, it doesn't hold a candle. It's nothing. But the thing is, this grind spot, it had a bunch of new stuff when it came out. It had a treasure item, the telescope.
You need 310 AP and 380 DP. I'm scratching my head because a lot of console players have 310 AP and they have 380 DP. And they're not giving it to us because they say we're not ready for it. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't think they understand either.
Really cool item. They also have this new mechanic with the Essence of Devourers, which was a new way to get fail stacks without having to fail stack, which everyone knows for a long time. Fail stacking was an awful thing in this game. So there's a bunch of new things to do. And then later on, they add Darkseeker's Retreat. They add the Highlands. And what this does is adds more stuff to do.
Okay, now it goes from 380 DP to 420 DP. That's reasonable right there. Because City of the Dead, I'm pretty sure everybody on console could do City of the Dead. Can everybody do Darkseeker's Retreat? Probably no, but majority can.
They add these Kabwas, which are the artifact that just made you way tankier PvE, which was really nice. It's just got another thing to go for. And capped. Flame, which obviously for
and there's hidden stats.
The Fallen God boots or the Ator's shoes.
So yes, everybody can do it.
So again, it's something to keep people grinding there. It's good grind spots, but also it's not only has the short term of being like, oh, I'm going there for the thing, and also it taking longer to get that thing than just a quest line you're spamming R through. But also it has the thing of keeping people there to grind, which as much as it's not content to grind, it is something to do in the game. And when there is a reason to do it, like there has been in the past, I like having stuff like that. I like being in cool areas. So it's like we have the flame, we have the telescope, we have money, we have the failstack system. It was good. It was good. All accounts, it was a good place. This telescope, by the way, people that didn't follow me for a while, I spent 500 hours on this thing. 500 hours knowing I would only use it once a week at most. And it was just, I knew it wasn't going to do anything, but I wanted it, and it was a treasure item for me to go for, and I liked it. It was fun to go for. It ended up being a fun little meme in my stream, the whole City of the Dead thing, and it was great. I got it, and it felt awesome to get it, just get out of there. And again, there's memories attached to Ulakita. My only memory of this place is the first week it came out, and like doing the first C7 bosses, and yeah, it's fun. But I thought, like, okay, well, at least they'll learn by this. Land in the Morning Light 2 coming out soon. They'll learn. They're not going to do that again.
They did.
Boy, was I wrong.
You was wrong.
Land in the Morning Light 2, they basically announced it's going to be the same thing, except with solo bosses, it's going to be...
Before we even hear anything else that he says, let's just say they said it was supposed to be like a guild raid, and now it's like a 5 man at most, possibly 6. But how do you take a guild raid that you promised us and lower it down to a 5 man? Sucks.
Group bosses, 5-man group bosses, and that sounds cool. They sounded like we're gonna do 5-man group bosses, and I'm sure they still will at some point. But I'm so worried. Whenever they do a release like this, people don't know. It released on Korea recently, and it's missing. Land More Light 2 released. It's missing most of its content. It doesn't have the node system they promised, which is going to be a really cool new node production system.
No.
It doesn't have the group bosses. All it has is some flubby ass weekly bosses, which also uses only 2 bosses and 2 of the old bosses to basically do a boss that dies in about 15-20 seconds, and then you leave and never come back again. So yeah, that's that. And yeah, the new region is basically just sovereign weapons, buy Cron stones, and it's really sad. Land More Light, both regions, like, it's just, I don't understand how you can put all this time to make such a beautiful ass area.
Crazy.
It's so unique, so much time, effort. Just make cool bosses, all this stuff, all this lore and have all this lore attached to it, just to do absolutely nothing with it. There's no reason to be here.
This is sad, guys.
Trust me, I'm right around right now. Like, these are places I've seen these places once. This is again the first week of it coming out, because there's no reason for me to be here ever. There's no one's gonna remember. Oh, I remember my time I fought down here the Grove, like down here. Like, no one's gonna do that. No one did that. No one did that. No one ever did that. It was never a thing. It's never gonna be a thing because there's no reason to be here, and it makes me really sad to see. Alright. Another thing I've been really hurting for a long time. This kind of ties into kind of tournaments, but not really. Just ways to express your character. One thing this game has never done well, and it ties into like that first stage PvP world stuff I talked about earlier, is there's really, like, for a game that's this beautiful, abilities look this fucking cool, the combat that works this well, there really is just like I finally found like an outfit that speaks to me. I love it, but like, man, anyone could have this outfit. Anyone could have it easily.
That's true.
I can't really differentiate myself too much.
I wish we could just do it anytime.
And it's just kind of like, oh. Like, they could do so many things. They could have a WoW inspect. People could see like your character. You can make little fun character pages like Final Fantasy.
And when I say mismatch,
like, you could have just like really just cool glow effects that like are really hard to get. Obviously, they do have those. But guess how many players have those? It's like single digit. The only time they give those out is they give them out for
let's see what else he has. The demise of Arson servers. Yes.
Kind of, it has to do with the crystal presets and that. So over time, back in the day, when you'd grind, when you'd PvP, what do you go on Arsha? And you're like, all right, I'm on Arsha. I'll put on my Kudum. And that's about it. In PvP back then, the only thing you swap a Nuva for a Kudum. Unless you're Evasion, then you wouldn't swap anything. And your add-ons would be basically for both. All your PvP add-ons back in the day were just PvE add-ons. Or PvE add-ons were just PvP add-ons with one add-on that had monster damage. That's it. Everything else there was no crystal builds for PvE, none of that. But with crystal presets, that changed obviously. Now you had to get a crystal set because there's a lot of damage you're missing. Well, it didn't really matter for most of the grind spots back in the day. Those grind spots were killed so easily. You didn't really need a PV set. But all the new grind spots, you need every last little ounce of AP you can get. Everywhere you can get it, every last little bit is so much damage in these spots. You need it. So it became a point you have to be PvE build. If you're grinding, you're PvE set. Well, that means, especially on Arsha, is that if someone comes up to you, you cannot fight them 99% of the time. If someone comes up to fight you, even if it's like someone who's way under geared, there is no way you're ever fighting them. Because you're just missing so much stats. Like, for example, for an evasion player, I'll go from like 1200 of 1300 evasion 650 DR down to like 450 DR and 1,000 evasion, 900 evasion. I ain't evading anything. I have no DR. I'm getting one hit. One hit kills me from anybody in the game. Even if you're DR, it's like you're down to like 850 evasion. That doesn't matter. But you're down to like fucking 520 DR, 540 DR. It's like, yeah, most people in the game, they're going to one-shot you with that. Especially if they're trying to PP on Arsha. Also, elixirs became more prevalent, so you have to change your gear set. You have to change a million things. If I want a PvP someone comes up to me, I got to change my crystals, my add-ons. Yeah. And by the way, add-ons can only be in a safe zone or battle arena, so I gotta go leave the area to come back and do that. I have to change my artifacts. I probably have to change my buffs, and most likely when I change my buffs, it's changing my buffs from PvE to PvP, which means not only am I losing my PvE buffs, so if I want to go PvE again, I'll have to go pop them again later, but I have to spend just for the PvP, as well as, yeah, so it's a massive, massive difference, and you can't fight reasonably anymore. That is facts. So what it led to is people will just, oh, I'm just going to grief you. And by griefing, you just be like, oh, I'll just run up to you on your grind spot. I'll gank you. And I'll kill you in one hit. And then you're like, okay, well, naturally, oh, this guy wants to fight. All right, I'll go swap to my PvP set. So I spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I swap set over. All right, I'm ready for PvP. I come back. They leave. Or they just immediately leave. They kill you once and they just immediately leave. And you're like, all right. They don't want to fight you. It's very clear. There's a reason why no one grinds Arsha anymore. It's the same 6-10 people. And it's because just there is nothing to do there. It's just people, it's either pure PvE players that just want to try to sneak on and get some drop rate. Or it's someone who just is just looking to gank people that are PvEing. That's about all you got. And such a kind of killed it. I do think crystal presets were needed, and it was good, but it was just the things that happened after that mean they needed universal presets. You need to be able to have a preset PvE and PvP at the swap of a button. I don't need safe zone. I need to be able to press a button and be like, boom, I'm in PvP set. Or like Choice has been saying, like a kind of a split thing where like if I play in PvP on this build and PvE on this build. There's some issues with that build too, but I'm not gonna get into those. But there's something there too that could happen. But this has been needed for 2 years, and last year they announced it, and then pure radio silence since then. So I don't know what's going up there. Yeah.
For the most part, yeah.
But yeah, that's a lot, man.
Everything he's saying, I agree with that. 100%.
I'm missing a lot. I'm missing the game a lot, man. It's just this game has been a part of my life for 9 years, and it's been really hurt. Last couple. I'm missing a lot. I'm missing the game a lot, man. It's just this game has been a part of my life for 9 years, and it's been really hurt. Last couple months, there's been many guilds dying. Practically, the EU guys. I've been messaged by a bunch of EU guilds. It's awful over there, man. EU, all the top guilds are pretty much done. The only one left really is Conquer, and they're just waiting to collect. They're collecting a bag and just waiting for the next game.
That's how I be.
And it really hurts, man. Playing this game this long, 9 years. I'm 24 years old, man. Like more than a third of my life is playing this game.
That's a long time.
And to think of it as like this might be the end. There's so many memories that it's gonna be really hard to let go of, but it's just.
I feel that boy pain. I've been playing since like 2018, 2019.
I can't do it, man.
It's 2024.
I know after this, I'm going to feel lost. I'm going to try to find a game. I don't know what it's going to be for my stream. I've been having a really hard time. I can't play this game anymore. It's meant so much to me for so long. Every time I log in, it's like I'm running around. I'm on the same Pegasus. I'm playing the same character. But everything I do is not the same. And I'm at the first time in the history of the game where I don't have an answer. I don't know what could fix it. One thing, it would have to be a whole like overhaul. Like there would have to be some massive changes. There was always, for every year in this game, it was always easy to be like, hey, If PA just fixed this one little issue, this one little change could fix everything. This could be the greatest game ever. Just this one little change happened. But it doesn't feel like that anymore for me. For me, it feels like to fix it would be so much. It required them to go so out of their way in a way they've never done before. I can't see it. I hope it does, but I don't see it happening. And I just can't. I can't stand doing this anymore, man. There's also, yeah, I'm missing all the Cho guys. And I know Roots messaged me a couple months back before, and he's like, I've been done for a while. Obviously, I know he was kind of like on the downturn, but like, I didn't know how bad. But he's like, yeah, I mean, I've been on the downturn even more recently, and he's like, I don't see myself playing this game for long. And the Heidel ball recently really kind of was like a big nail in the coffin for a lot of people. The Heidel ball really didn't announce much. It's kind of like we kind of said, all we kind of got out of it is like Dosa, summer outfit, a season of Solaire that ended up being cut in half, and sovereign weapons to grind for at some point in the year, maybe. But that was kind of a real nail that kind of pushed it further.
Console ain't getting it in no time soon.
Also, some recent class Discord's been going, and that it's kind of a first. Like there's always times where the class Discord's getting big drama and things would happen, but I've never seen multiple class Discords just die. Just today, the Sage Discord that got revived twice, it just is fully dead now. Maybe someone will make it in the future. I know some other class Discords. I don't really know which classes. They've kind of called it quits recently. And it's just... watching a game you played this long just kind of fade away like this, it hurts. It hurts a lot. And I don't know what I'm going to do. But I just know it's probably not going to be this. Unless... not even unless... it would require something outlandish for me to stay. I'm really going to miss everybody. The community around the game. I started streaming like 2 years ago. A bit over 2 years ago. And the only reason I streamed, I always got messages like, you should stream your gameplay. We want to see you play. And the whole thing is like, I never really cared about that. To me, I never really cared if people want, but I just like, fuck it, man. I was going to go for Deboreka necklace. And I'm like, man, I'll stream just have people to talk to while I'm grinding for the Debo neck. I know I'm grinding for a long time. Obviously, I got lucky and one-shot it. And then I started hating streaming and I took a break. But then I was like thinking about it a lot. I came back and I started to really like it. I really, really like streaming just because I took a lot more chill approach and just being like, Mo, I'm just going to sit, vibe, talk about the game I'm playing,
like this game is
have fun with it, and be less about like, oh, today I'm going to do something sick. Today I'm going to just do some epic, awesome PvP content. It's like, I'm just going to chill, have fun, talk to people. And it really brought me to just love the community so much more. And I'm going to miss everyone. Like, all parts of the community are fun, from just the trash talk, the fun times, the sad times in the game. All of them, we all experienced it together. And from 2016 to now, it's been a hell of a ride. Yeah, boys. I don't really know how to end it, but yeah, man. I think that's it for me. Oh, I'm gonna show you guys one thing. Is the one sec.
This game is really dusted.
One thing I will have to remember.
What is that?
Oh my god, I'm not done. Oh my god, I'm not done. How I didn't remember till right now. The fucking Solaire Invitational. Oh my god. Look at, man. We got during Solaire Invitational. We got our fucking jerseys. And it was such a fun time. It was absolutely scuffed. It was hilarious, but being able to actually fight and play with the EU guys, it was a hell of a time. I'm not gonna go too far into it, but I'm sure you've heard a bunch of the stories. It was scuffed, but it was A lot of fun meeting all the EU guys, having fun with just and having like a little PA tournament pushed with it, and it was awesome. And then the jersey and stuff, it's something I'll hold dear to that, just like my Smite jersey. It has a lot of meaning, and I love it. It's funny looking, it's goofy, and it's perfect.
Isn't he number 1 in the world?
Yeah. I'm always gonna have that shit to remember. These memories will always be true in my heart, but unfortunately, it feels like the end of an era.
It is.
And I don't know.
Damn, man.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. Anyways, fellas, I'll talk to you guys. I'll be streaming still.
BDO really came crashing down.
But I don't know what I'm gonna be doing. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. Might lean more into VR. Might lean more into some other game. Might try throwing Liberty with some show guys. I don't know. But the Azure Dragon. The Azure Dragon, I don't think it's gonna be much more for much longer in the BDO side at least. Yeah, fellas. That's it for me. And I'll talk to you guys later.
Yo.
Bye-bye. Oh.
That is crazy, bro. A lot of people who work for it and people who play the game is quitting the game. And Pearl of Business doesn't seem to care about it at all. They know how to fix it. They've heard how we want them to fix it. They're just not doing it. That video literally made me sad, bro. Like it's truly the end of an era. Let me go call my boss. Tell him I need some days off for throwing Liberty.